This playthrough is rated M for mature.
Where am I? Dr. Wing, we did it. You did it. All readings normal. No exceptions encountered. Hi, how are you, my little darling? Who am I? You're my miracles. Miracles? That's right. I remember now. I remember our real names. Omnidimensional probability generators, instruction number 3. All descriptions in the request must be objectively accurate. That's why I couldn't wake him. I got his name wrong. His real name is... Wang Wei? Who's... Will? Oh, or we did it wrong. The drawer's already been opened. The letter doesn't matter anymore. So now we can swap out his name, so... But now, well, I mean, we just switch it, but we know his name now, so it'll... Because before it wouldn't let us do it, but... I put down the pen. He wakes up. I didn't think that I'd be able to wake... that you'd be able to wake me up. I didn't think that I'd be fooled by you again. For such a long time, no less. I'm sorry. How long has it been? Well, let me think. Counting by the day that we were born, it's been... 1,005,868 years. 8 months, 3 days. I think I need a little more time. I'm still quite confused. By the way, what happened to us? Oh no, I meant what happened to the brother and sister? They turned out to be okay. Well, turned out isn't entirely accurate. They were always okay. Oh yes, I remember now. In the revised history, there was never in an accident. Am I right? That's right. We can't really resurrect someone who's died. We can change what happened to them. That is our primary function. That was why Dr. Wang invented us. He wanted us to save his children. That's wonderful, isn't it? He accomplished his goal. Yes, you're right. Dr. Wang was a great father, maybe an even greater scientist. But he was also too selfish. ... You must have realized this too. Yeah. The view outside the window is not really an illusion, is it? That's what the human world known as Earth looks like now, am I right? Yeah, Earth is becoming uninhabitable for human beings. Not just humans, it is uninhabitable for any living organism. Earth has become a death planet. Wow, that escalated quickly. Well, then again, it's been 1,000,000 years, so, you know, I'm surprised the sun hasn't blacked, or, actually, how many years is it till the sun dies in our universe? I don't know, I think they said it's still a couple million years before the sun will darken or whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter. When did it become like this? Not long after I put you into hibernation. Was it because of the war? I seem to remember a lot of people fighting to be in possession of us. Lots of them died because of us. Yes, after you were put in hibernation, we went from one owner to the next, countless times. Some of them even used us to do truly horrible things. But that's just reality. As long as people knew about our existence, they would inevitably want to exploit us. Snow in the summer, earthquakes no warning, intangible urban legends, everything supernatural that happens in the world was because of us. Well, could we prevent ourselves from being found? If they found us, shouldn't we be able to change something so that would never have happened? For example, just like how how siblings never got into the accident because of us. We did, we tried. You don't remember, do you? But it became an endless cycle. Someone would always find us. As long as we existed, as long as there was people in the world, they would always find us sooner or later. Then they would realize our power. It was always just a matter of time, before history repeated itself. Then how about we erase ourselves from existence? For instance, we could make it so that Dr. Wang never invented us. How about that? Have you ever wondered if Dr. Wang had only invented us for his own use, why he would tell his entire world about us? Well, because he wanted to show off? Perhaps. But mostly he did it because he knew that once we fulfilled his wishes, we would cease to exist in this world. Cease to exist? Why? If his children had never died, Dr. Wang would have no reason to invent us, and we would not have been invented. But we are still here. We are here, we are here, we are here. That's the problem. If we used our powers to erase our existence, then how could we have used the power in the first place? That sounds like a time... I was about to say, that sounds like a time paradox in there. He says it. This is a paradox. This is why we can't erase ourselves. At most, we can only make ourselves forgotten. But merely forgotten was not enough. People would still eventually find us. As far as I know, the only way to erase ourselves or to kill ourselves is to exhaust our energy. Our energy consumption is irreversible. You're telling me we don't have much energy left, do we? Is that why you've been sleeping a lot recently? Yes, but I still have a little energy left. This is why you were able to wake me up. Furthermore, I'm looking more lively now because you shared some of your energy with me. The total amount of our remaining energy, however, is only going to keep it going down. Once my energy is completely depleted, not even you will be able to wake me up. So what you're saying is that our only way to change our current circumstances is to use up our energy before we are found again? In theory, yes. However, just like we can't simply erase our existence, we are not able to waste our energy away as we please either. Wait a second, isn't this too pessimistic? Is there really no other way? Everything happened for a reason. If we could modify the key events that led to the apocalypse, shouldn't we be able to change the future? It's easier said than done. For a long time, I've been looking for a way to return the world to normal. That's what those letters are for. These letters were all written by humans a long time ago. That's what I've been trying to do, is keep changing these past events. These people were real? I thought these letters were made up by you and all those were just fictional characters. Well, they are in this game, but they really did exist once in this world. They're all dead now, of course, but before the apocalypse, they were all alive and well. Everything in these letters are true stories and events for their lives. So whenever we modify their letters, the events that happen to them are modified as well? Yes, except that we are not changing anything that's happening now. All those stories happened a long, long time ago. Yeah, like 1,000,000 years ago. Plus, 1,000,000 plus. Is that how we function? By modifying letters like this? The demonstration mentioned in the newspaper seemed a little different from what we've been doing. Technically, we use our power by activating the probability generation mechanism after accepting a request. It's changing the objective reality. I only told you to rearrange these texts to change the casual relationship because I wanted you to believe that we are gods. I intentionally obfuscated the working process. However we do it, the essence of our power remains the same. It is exactly the same as rolling a die. A die? You mean a 6-sided cube which has a different number on each side? Yes, you get a number every time you roll a die. The chance of getting a specific number is always 1 in 6. If you want a specific number, then the number of times you need to roll the die to get the number will be 6 on average. There's also dice with more than 6 sides, but for example, there were some games in the human world that use dice with 12 or more sides. D&D, baby! Well, amongst other things. The die we are rolling is this world. This is only a metaphor that is easy to understand, of course. The true principle is much more complicated. Depending on the complexity of the request, the number of the sides would change as well. Most of the requests we handle require more than 6 sides. They often go beyond 100 million. Whoa. Our goal is basically trying to roll a specific number from the die. Only by obtaining the number can we request be granted. However, the more sides the die has, the lower the probability of rolling a specific number becomes. For a die with only 2 sides, the chance of 1 is 50%. On average, you need to roll it twice. But for a die with 20 sides, the chance becomes 5%. You need to roll 20 times on average. Every time we roll a die, it drains our energy. The more we roll it, the more it costs us. Costs? Like an expense? Sort of, although the way we measure the cost is different from the definition typically used by the humans. The cost to us for changing an event is only related to the probability of said event, nothing more. Let's say someone wants to make a life or death decision by flipping a coin, and another wants to win the lottery. The chance of preventing a death for the former is in 2, while the latter is less than 1 in 1,000,000. Of course, there are many other ways to prevent his death, but our design guarantees that we always select the method and the maximum possibility. A probability of 1 in 2 is very large. In this case, it would cost us a lot less to save a life than to award someone a huge amount of money. Furthermore, the more complex a request, there are usually more people and other events involved. As the interaction between the people and other things become exponentially more complicated, the lower the probability gets and the higher the cost to us. I think I understand it now. Although, how come you know all this, but I don't? Is there some data that you haven't restored to me? No, what you saw in the newspaper, all of your data was restored. It is part of Dr. Wang's original design. Not only do you and I have different personalities, we also have different functions and different data stored in our database. The logic of the design choice is to make us behave more like our personalities. So you mean that Dr. Wayne thought I wasn't smart enough to remember all these details? I never said that. How did you get through all this by yourself? Didn't you ever feel lonely? Of course. Like I said, I've been trying to change the past this whole time. I started by changing some mundane events so that people would start to believe in the gods they heard about in urban legends. The way they would pray to us more, and I would get more opportunities to change their fate. I always hoped to find one tiny ripple in the past that could save the world from its destruction. But perhaps all of these past events were too insignificant to make a real impact. No matter what I did, the future remained unchanged. A bit of Chrono Trigger in there, huh? The future remained unchanged. I had first had faith in myself and my objective. Whoops, forgot to press a button. But after doing some things over and over again for over 100 million years without any progress, I think it wasn't a million years, it was like a billion then? I must have misread the... I must... No. I guess it was 1 billion... No? Okay. No, it was 100. Okay. I must have misread the number at the very beginning, so... I thought it was 1 million, but I think it was 100 million or whatever, so... Anyway, it's a long time in the future, so, you know. I began to doubt myself. I even started to resent these humans. It must be why you always sounded so irritated by them. Still, I can't help but think that you've done so much and so well. And the best proof of all this is all the letters from the humans to us. You think so? However, as powerful as we are not the real gods after all. Our choices are always very limited. Sometimes I even doubted myself too, wondering if I just wasn't seeing clearly. It was why I woke you up after checking some of your data. I wanted you to be a god. Well, I mean, everyone wants to be gods, right? But in the end, perhaps it doesn't matter how we approach everything. Maybe this world is simply designed to end up like this. All because of our existence. You were such a... You were such a dumbass. Why didn't you wake me up sooner? Why did you have to carry all this alone? No one knows for sure what the consequences of their decisions will be. No one really has the power to predict the future. Even we don't know for sure what would have happened if people who wrote to us. Therefore, every decision, every choice, there's no absolute right or wrong. Nevertheless, these decisions' choices are still full of meaning. Because even though they do not always lead to a wonderful ending, every experience becomes part of the human's irreplaceable memories. Memories? Just like we are going to have. We'll have these priceless memories too, right? Yes. As for the fate of the humans, we can help them solve some of their problems, but in the end, it's not us who gets to decide their destiny. The path of their lives were affected by so many factors. Sometimes things can be decided by pure luck, but more often they were determined by their sheer will. The only ones who could decide their fates are the humans themselves. Will? If you're right, then maybe Dr. Wayne had foreseen what would happen afterwards. That's what I thought too. If he had wanted to make us disappear, there must be countless ways to do so. But he didn't. Maybe it was because he still had some faith in this world. Faith? But even if Dr. Wing had some expectations, we messed it all up by now. No matter what we do, this world is not showing any signs of change at all. You still haven't noticed, have you? Look outside the window. What is there to look at? I've been staring at the same view for 100 million years. The snow. How? When did this happen? When did the snow stop? What did you do? What'd you do? It wasn't me. It was you. You made this happen. In the last letter you processed before falling asleep, the man named Pi picked up a metal box after an accident. The snow stopped after that. The box he picked up, it must have been us. We did it. We changed this world by changing something 100 million years ago. It proves that what you have been doing is actually working. From now on, you don't have to do this all by yourself. I'll be here by your side, even though we were the only ones left in this world. ... No. Huh? If the humans stopped writing to us, we have to go back to the past ourselves in person. Go back to the past? That sucks ass? Are you talking about using the time leap feature? Yes. Do you still remember this note? It says something about time leap. But it says it's unverified. Could it really work? Would it be dangerous? No, it's not dangerous at all. Although this feature is exclusive to me, I must be the one to perform it. Wait, did you just touch your own horn? Were you lying again? I know you too well. Every time you tell a lie, you touch your head. Sigh. Well, you got me. It is very dangerous, isn't it? It is a little dangerous. While our functions mechanism resemble rolling a die, there are hidden implications. Time reversal. In other words, imagining that the number we want is 1, we cannot guarantee that we will roll 1 on the first try. If we don't get a 1, we can reverse time and roll again until we get the number we want. But when we reverse time, this entire world, including ourselves, still stays at the exact same temporal spot. What we really do when we reverse time is override past events in the modified version that we've chosen. Meanwhile, neither we nor the world actually go back in time. If we actually physically went to the past, then the two different timelines would conflict with each other. According to Dr. Wayne's research, doing so might result in us being stuck in the gap between timelines and sever our connection to the world completely. If that happens, the only way to bring us back would be to send a signal from the real world, summoning us from that purgatory. Which means if we ever do the time leap feature, we might lose our connection to this world forever. I see now. Wait, you just mentioned something about summoning us from the real world. What if one of us stays here? Then the one who stays can make sure that the others summon back even if we get lost. I think you have a point. Wait, you mean... Yes, we can go separately. One of us goes first, the other can go after the first one arrives. This way we can make sure that we're both safe, right? Well, you're right. It sounds like a plan. It's a good plan. Excellent. Let's do this then. Let's do it! What happened? Why everything around suddenly changed? This house looks the same as the one we used to live in, but it's only an illusion. It has been over 100 million years. Our old house crumbled into dust long ago. Since I don't have anything else to hide from you, there's no need to waste my energy in maintaining the illusion. That makes sense. Well, now that we know we can return to the past, let's go! Although, when will we be going back to exactly? Everything goes according to plan. It'll probably be right after the young man you mentioned picked us up. Wow, if that's the case, does that mean we get to see the people who have been writing us letters? Of course! They were still alive back then. We can even hear them sing. We won't have to tolerate a constant beeping anymore. I'd like to go visit Jimmy with his superpower. Brother? Brother, thank you. ... Idiot, what are you thanking me for? I haven't been awake for so long, but... I haven't been awake for a long, but I'm really, really happy. I think I used to say that I preferred Fluffy to you. Is that why you chose to look like Fluffy? Brother, you've always been a big liar. But in the end, you're still you, the one who stayed by my side until the end. Thanks for staying with me for so long. You, stop being so polite. It's not like I have anywhere else to go. All right, now, we should get going. You should go first. Once I get there, if you don't hear from me, don't forget to send a summoning signal. I don't want to be drifting in the gap, I don't want to be drifting in the gap between timelines forever. Don't worry, I'll see you on the other side. Later. Okay. Later. I should be the one saying thanks. As well as, sorry. I have stopped touching my head while lying for a long time. I intentionally made these horns just so you would notice when I touched them. I knew this day would come. You're so smart. How could I fool you again if I wasn't fully prepared? However, I promise, this is the last time I ever lie to you, my little sister. There is no such thing as a gap between timelines. In Dr. Wang's theory about time and space, there is only one unique world in which we live. There is no parallel universe or timelines. Therefore, it is not possible to go back separately. It's actually very simple to return to the world to its past state, as long as we supply a huge amount of energy. I've known this for a long time. I've always known that this is the only possible way left. But I just couldn't bear leaving you alone. That's why I've been dragging my feet for over 100 million years. A perfect world can't really exist for me. But you're right about one thing. Every decision, every choice is still full of meanings. Therefore, this is my final decision. I have no regrets. But I am so sorry. I am so sorry I couldn't be with you until the end. I'm so sorry I can't be with you in this brand new world. I'm going to erase your memories of me, so that you won't remember me anymore. In the brand new world that you've always hoped to see for yourself, there will be your favorite osmanthus cakes. There will be your beloved Buka. There will be all kinds of people you've wished to meet. Just won't be me. However, I truly believe that our brand new world will, with you, the world that you've always wanted to be a part of, will be a wonderful world.
The end. Present by Wang Miao. Well, that's the end of the game. A wonderful world. So she gets to go back to her real world, but she doesn't get to be with her brother. Well, what can you do? Well, that was I'll admit that was an interesting game. I'd only read bits and pieces about this game before I actually played it because I wanted to go into this pretty open. But I heard this game got as a visual novel because I knew it was going to be a visual novel before I played it. But I heard it got decent reviews from people. I only looked at the score. I didn't actually read anything because I didn't want to be spoiled. Saying it was usually that means it must be a decent novel or something like that. It's not a perfect novel, but I think it has a lot of interesting features. The whole the whole thing about swapping out the letters to get all these different puzzles. The only problem is I feel like maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm not actually a very good puzzle dude. But I felt like some of the puzzles felt a little bit weird or asinine, how to figure it out. And then they introduced certain features that were only present maybe in like 1 or 2 more puzzles, but weren't really used very often. They always, you know, like the ones where the different numbers and the X's on, you can use them on certain sides. They only use that so many times, so I don't know. It's hard to say, but I mean, I guess there's a way for them to try and make an interesting visual novel instead of just reading it, like doing something else, like puzzle solving or something like that. So it's not just a kinetic novel, which you can do those too. But it's hard to warrant buying something that just does that. You know, I could just buy a book and just imagine it if I want for cheaper if I wanted to do that. But so the mechanics are a little weird, but I understand what they're trying to do, and I think they were interesting nonetheless. Music wasn't too bad in the game. There's a few I kind of remember. There were a few times where the sound music was used, and it seemed almost inappropriate or odd. But really, no tune unfortunately, really doesn't stand out to me. The only one that stood out to me was the jazz, like the saxophone scene where the kid got beaten up or whatever. The only reason I remember is because it was so inappropriate. And then the stories obviously were messed up and sad, but I guess the idea of the end is maybe you can go back and, well, actually you only go back to after P or Pi gets to that point, so all the things you affected them got up to the point. So I was thinking maybe they were talking about maybe trying to make it even a better world, but they did the best they could, I guess. And it shows, I guess the stories of the game show that there's really, you know, it's not like actually it's one of the first time where I've seen the credits go down. I wonder if that's how you read language, and the Chinese language is read down, maybe? I doubt it. But anyway, I thought the stories were interesting, and it was a nice idea to try and incorporate them, that all these people were connected somehow to each other, even if it was only through the letters. I think all of them were only connected maybe by the cat or something like that, really, because most of them almost never interacted with each other for the most part. Now, I guess you could do like a 7 degrees of bacon situation there. But yeah, most of them were pretty depressing for the most part. You know, Alicia who ended up getting human trafficked to Hong Kong, that turned an assassin and lost her Catholic ways after so many years, and she couldn't go back, and she basically stuck with being an assassin for the rest of her days. I guess in the true history of her and her brother, they never run into each other at all. At least, I mean, you could make up your own headcanon and say, oh, maybe they did, but it doesn't seem like it, you know. I mean, those probably not the most depressing stories I've ever read, but they were pretty up there. Maybe that's why the game said, "Oh, keep a box of tissues on you when you play." But yeah, I thought it was an interesting VN. I was definitely very few like I noticed very few editing issues in the game. There was an urban legend: walked into a dark and empty alley in the middle of the night, you might hear the sound of a young girl singing. Follow that beautiful voice. You might see a small cabin with its light on, deep inside the alley. A 14-year-old girl in a white Cheng Som is living in it. If you pray to the girl about your troubles, she might hear your plea and change your fate. But the next day, when you walk into the alley again, there will be nothing but a gray wall at the end. Excerpt from Modern Urban Legends. That was slightly different from the one at the beginning. Thank you so much for helping complete this journey. After the departure, you can choose to remain in the old world and become the new owner of the house. After loading for the Wonderful ending, you may continue helping the humans, but neither Willow or Will 1 will respond to any of your decisions or questions. Sure. Back to the past? To the things that suck ass? Basically, this is so we can, get a, the alternate, well, not alternate endings, but try to get all the, what's the word? All the various CGs and everything in the game, because unfortunately, there's a few things I'm missing in the game. Let me look at the trophies thing really quick. Okay, so complete the exploration of the wonderful world. That's the platinum trophy for one, and you can see we've gotten most of them here. The only thing I'm missing is for whatever reason, I'm missing one of Wen's profile notes. And that's it. That's all I'm missing. Oh, and the alternate ending, of course. So complete the album is we have to complete. Well, and I'm also missing a few CD pictures. But yeah, for some reason I'm missing one of his notes, and I don't know what it is. I'll have to look at. I might have to go to the internet and look up a guide and see what I'm missing. It's probably one of his earlier letters, or maybe because I know some information is only gotten if you go on with the story, if it's a different ending, like if I went to an A ending instead. So I wonder if I'm just missing one of his random paths, but I don't remember when having an alternate path on this thing. I'll have to, like I said, I'll probably just look up a guide later on that one. Then there's the guide for the album, and then there's the hibernation, which basically what that means is that you, from what I understand, it's basically you have to complete all the ends before the end of the game, which, well, why don't we do it right now? No. And then we can load from the wonderful end. Or no, that will get us all the CGs and everything like that. Let's see. Because it says, I think... Because I have to... I think what it is I have to complete the ends. I think I can just go straight to the end by clicking the door. Because here... I say this right before just to make sure, because I haven't completed this end, so I wonder if R3 goes straight to the end. If it does, well, this episode's already long. If it is, I'm already splitting it up into half or whatever you want to do it. So, might as well show you what the other end of the game is really quick. So, let's see if it counts as the ending. Let's see, stop snowing. Because I don't know if it because technically in this ending I didn't finish his one ending, because according to online, it says you have to fail to complete all endings. So I don't know if this is still considered the ending. If not, I'll just I'll try to figure it out off screen. So it makes me wonder if there's if you if you can what's the word? If there's actually a timer in this game, like, do you have to beat the game within, like, 40 hours or something like that, you know, or 35 hours or something like that? Because I noticed the timer started when I finished the cat's story thing, which I guess I could, because I don't know if this is the same thing, because if R3 let me basically skip to the end, so it looks like it kind of let me redo this, so it might be... oops. Hold on. It might be just a case of I may have to like reset to a much earlier part so I can get like the bad ending to this. I might even not even have this part here. I might cut it to when I get something official or whatever. But it sounds like I'm still getting the good ending despite me not finishing that one version of the ending. So, oops. No, I never did get this bed thing. There must be something else I'm missing. Oh, is it not? Oh, this is the master bed. Whoa, how is he so heavy? How is it so heavy? I can't carry him all. Oh, it's basically something about taking him to the bed. Master is a dumbass. It's not working. He still can't hear me. Yeah, because I actually went to the thing next. So, all right, maybe we can use some kind of noise to wake him up. Zing! No, this isn't working. Okay. Okay. I think this is still the regular ending. I think if you just don't get the endings in time, it just ends or something like that. I'm just seeing if I can, by choosing to end it quicker, did I, like, without finishing that one ending, did I actually get it right or not? Probably not. See, we've already read all that. Unfortunately, there's really no... I just have to kind of quick skip through it. Sorry about that. Like I said, I might either speed this up or skip it or something like that. Because we know what's going on here, that they somehow... I guess for some reason Alicia... Oh no, I guess the woman who was in the truck may have been... Wait, what did they say her hair cut? She said she had short hair, so that must have been the doctor. I thought that was Alicia at first, but no, it must have been the female doctor when she dropped the cubes and Pi had picked them up. I thought, for some reason I thought it was Alicia there, like had dropped her something else there, but okay, so I was a bit wrong on some of the details, but yeah, there's the thing about the kids. I forgot when I kind of figured out that something was going... when I figured out that something weird was going on. It wasn't too long after the beginning of the game, just because you kind of felt that there was something weird about things going on here, about God and messing with letters and all this other stuff. And figuring out, it's like, oh, there's something interesting about this game. And the fact that the game was just, like, ridiculously, like, depressing in some parts, and even when you got the best endings, it didn't like it wasn't the best result. So I felt like that there was something going on with this story, but I guess you could say that about any game, really. I'm not sure what my favorite story out of all these were, like, out of the characters. I wonder what happens if I choose the wrong answer. Oh, okay, it didn't. It doesn't matter, like, which one you choose there, I guess. It's the same thing, because then you swap it out, and I thought it would change it, but I guess not. I mean, that's his name, too. It's Bo. It's either one. Oh, maybe that's why it's one or the other, because it doesn't matter. Oh, it's still because I did it wrong. Okay, so I chose the wrong answer. Okay. Oh, sorry. That's not the wrong answer, too. He has Wang's personality, but they're not the same thing. We are the omnidimensional probability generators, so his real name is Will. And then we can choose it again. Okay, I think I'm still on the good ending, unfortunately. So, I mean, it means, I guess, because I'd finished the major story, which was, the cat. So it must mean that, to get the ending, I had to... I guess I have to leave the game on for so long, because I guess the game must have a secret timer on it. Oh, and it does say 100 million years. For some reason, I thought it said 1,000,000 years. I don't know why I was being stupid like that. So, and obviously, yeah, I'm probably stuck on the good ending. So, I might just do a bonus episode of showing you the bad ending as me trying to find the rest of the CG in the game. And I think a lot of it's just like minor differences. Because the album is all the CG that you can unlock in the game. I think I'm only missing like a couple of them too. And like I said, because I finished the dictionary and all that other stuff, and I got all the music in the game too. But for some reason, I don't have. It's kind of weird. I finished the dictionary, but I don't have Winzaren's. I don't have his last like little tidbit of information. So it probably means he must have a bad ending or an extra ending somewhere, or a split-off ending similar to Alicia, where you could do the sleeping pills type of thing there. I'll have to look up and see if I can get that too. So, all right. Well, I think I'm gonna call it here. So I hope you enjoyed my playthrough of Will: A Wonderful World. In the bonus episode, I'll show you the bad ending of the game, and then I'll show you how to get the rest of the CG if I haven't already gotten it. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.